Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel Let's Grow. So my name is Nitin and today in this video I am going to explain you about the meandering of river. So without any further delay, let's start our session. So today we are going to discuss about the river meandering. So what do you mean by meandering? So a river that flows in a sinusoidal pattern and not in a straight line is called a meandering river. So what do you mean by a meandering river? As you can see in this image, let us focus on this, that this river is flowing in the form of sinusoidal pattern. It is not flowing in a straight line, it is flowing like a sinusoidal pattern. So whenever a river flows in this pattern, it is termed as the meandering. River meandering is a planform process that generates a series of bands of alternate curvature connected to each other. Now let us discuss first about the planform. What do you mean by a planform? So basically when you see the river from a satellite image or from the top, whatever pattern you observed of the river, that is known as the planform. Means you are watching this river from the top, means you are taking the help of any satellite image or Google map through which you are seeing the pattern of the river. So that is known as the planform of the river. And in this planform you can see the alternate curvature which is connected to each other. The curvature of this part is this side and the curvature of the other part is this side. So there are alternate curvatures in the presence in the river which are connected to each other. It is continuous action of the flow developed on the river bands that cause further erosion on the outer bank and deposition on the inner bank. Now let us focus on these two cross section, the cross section A1, A2 and cross section C1, C2. So let us first see the cross section A1, A2. So what we can see here, that cross section A1, A2 lies on a straight ridge. This is a straight ridge in which our cross section A1, A2 lie. So what we can see, that the depth of flow for the cross section A1, A2 is uniform. But if we look at the cross section C1, C2, what we will see here, that the ridge in which our cross section C1, C2 lie, it is a meander type. Means the river is trying to bend in this cross section. And what we will see here, that whenever a river flows, it will try to erode the outer bank. This is the outer bank for the river. The cross section C1 is outer bank for the river and it will try to erode it. So whenever a river try to erode this bank, the depth of flow will be generally higher at this point. So at point C1 we will find the higher depth, and at point C2 this is the inner bank, and inner bank the meandering river shows the deposition of sediment. So at point C2 there will be deposition of sediment. So due to this deposition of sediment, the depth of flow at point C2 will be low. So as you can see here, that for cross section C1, C2, the depth of flow at the outer bank will be more as compared to the inner bank. So here you can see the zone of erosion, means whatever outer curve is there, that is known as the zone of erosion. Here the sediment is eroded in this zone, and the zone of deposition or point bar, these are the zone of deposition, these are the inner banks. At inner banks the river will try to deposit all the sediments it carries. Now this is the complete figure which you can see here. The one more thing which I have to explain is the Thalberg. What did you mean by a Thalberg line? So here you can see two lines. One is the central line which is denoted as a red dotted line. Second one is Thalberg line which is denoted as a blue dotted line. So basically what is a Thalberg line? Basically Thalberg line presents the elevations of, it shows the points of minimum elevation at a particular cross section. So as we see at cross section A1, A2, depth of flow is uniform, so the lowest point will be approximately at center. But as we see a cross section C1 C2, for cross section C1 C2 the point of minimum elevation will be somewhere here. You can see the red mark, so it will very near to the C1. So here the Thalberg line passes through this. Means if you trace this Thalberg line, you will find all the points of minimum elevation in this river reach. The one point I have missed here, that the meandering action increases the length of the stream or river and tends to reduce its slope. Suppose if this is flowing straight, so the length of river will be less as compared to when it flows in the form of meander. It will increase the length, and the slope of the river can be written as the difference of elevation between these extreme point divided by the length of the river. So it is obvious that if the length of river increases, the slope will reduce. Now what are the reasons for the meandering of river? Let us discuss it. The causes of meandering process. The widely accepted theory of meandering is based on the generation of extra turbulence due to the excess of sediment in flood flows. During the flood events, river carries high amount of sediment charge. When river carries the sediment charge in excess of its capacity, rivers start to deposit this excess sediment charge on its bed. So basically what happens whenever a flood event occurs? In flood, large volume of water along with the large volume of sediments flows in the river. So whenever a large amount of sediments come into the river, then what happens? That when this river carries the sediment which is in excess of its capacity, then what river will do? River will try to deposit these excess sediment on its bed. Now the increase in the river slope resulting increase in the river width. If the river banks are not enough strong, then these banks are attacked by river water. In this progression, one of the banks is likely to attack more than other, responsible for slightly deviation of river flow. So let us discuss it with first point, that it is due to the flood, because whenever a flood event comes, it will have a large amount of sediments with it, but the water flowing it have a definite power or definite capacity to flow the sediments. So once it reaches to up to its maximum capacity, it will deposit all the excess sediment on its bed. Whenever the excess sediment deposit on the bed, it will increase the slope, because whenever the bed level of river rises due to deposition of sediment, it will increase the slope. As the river slope increases, the velocity of water which is flowing in the river will be increases. It is possible that initially water flows in the subcritical or critical zone, but due to this increase in the slope, it will go into the supercritical zone, and when a water flows in supercritical zone, it will reduce its depth and increase the velocity. It's increase the velocity, reduce the depth, and simultaneously it will increase the river width also. And once the river width is increasing, it will try to attack both the banks for increasing its width. And it is possible that one of the bank of river is slightly to more attacked by this width increase phenomena. So here the disturbance caused. Suppose on left bank of river there is a good plantation, but the right bank of river there is no plantation. So in that case, the right bank of the river is more likely to be attacked by the river water. So this river try to erode the right bank of the river, and in that case it will try to meander on the right side, and this phenomena goes on. This deviation of flow helps to move the river more and more from one bank to another bank, and this process continues and keep changing the plan form of